So let's just see, because sometimes it takes a little bit of time for everything, the joys of technology, the
I
joys
know.
of live. And here we are. We are indeed now live. So, first of all, thank you to our followers who are following us at this time, because in Europe, this is 7, 8 o'clock in the
Oh, yeah.
evening. So, people must be following us whilst they're having their dinners, hopefully. And Sylvia, the lovely Sylvia Johnson from the Codrington Language Centre in Barbados. Thank you for being with me today. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you, Bernice. Thank you too. It's a great pleasure to do this. I really appreciate you doing it because people wouldn't get to see us like this otherwise. And I think it's a great idea. So thank you very much.
Oh, you are very welcome. And it is my pleasure because obviously I remember the first time I met you, the first time I received your email actually, and you told me you had a school in Barbados. And obviously I was very much fascinated, and I still am very much fascinated by the destination. But before we get to the destination, Sylvia, how did you get the idea to open up a school in Barbados? You're not originally from there, are you?
No, I'm not originally from here. I came to Barbados in 1972 for 1 year, and that's 52 years ago. So,
Wow.
yes, I was supposed to go back to England and get married, but as you do, I really fell in love with Barbados, and I still love it.
Nice.
Yes, it's just absolutely wonderful. I think I made absolutely the right decision to come here and be here.
For sure, for sure. But where did you get the idea to open up the school? I mean, do you come from an international education background? I know you're also a teacher, so I'm cheating a little bit over here because I know. But tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm actually trained to teach French. And so I've used that training. I came to Barbados to teach French at a girls' boarding school in 1972. And I taught there for 4 years in the end. But then eventually that school closed and I wanted to reopen it. So in order to get funds to reopen it, I decided to run an English language program so that we could have some funds in advance to reopen the day school. Well, actually, it was a boarding school in Barbados.
Wow. Okay.
But
Is that where you are today?
Well, it worked out the other way around. I actually ended up working with the school and teaching at the school for 4 years after I reopened it, 30 years after I came here, actually. And I then stopped teaching at that school and opened the language centre, and we've just been carrying on from there.
My gosh, what a fascinating story. And
I
obviously,
love my job.
Sorry?
And I love my job.
It's very clear to me, and I've had quite a few conversations with you over the past months. It's very, very clear because I remember the first time I proposed this live broadcast, I obviously proposed it at the time which, selfishly speaking, would have been more comfortable for me, so to speak. And I remember Sylvia being, and I appreciate, and I'm saying this out of pure admiration because I appreciate this in a person. And Sylvia, the first thing she told me was, no, Bernice, I cannot do it at that time. At that time, I'm teaching. And the way you said it, even though it was by email, I could imagine your face as you were saying it, because your passion for what you do, and I'm not saying it because I have you here in front of me, but your passion for what you do is so transparent.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I must say, most of my friends are retired and they're going out to girly lunches. But personally, I prefer having conversations with my students. We have wonderful students, and I really enjoy. We have very, very enjoyable classes. Everybody has a good time, and why would I retire from something like that?
Exactly. And when you say everybody, how can you tell us a little bit about the number of classrooms that you have at your school? How many students can the school take?
Well, we have 6 classrooms, and we can take up to 8 students in each classroom on site. But we also have online students, so we can have students on the walls, in other words. Yes.
That's very nice. That's very nice. And your colleagues, I've met a few of them as well, your team, obviously, but I know you refer to them as your colleagues. Tell us a little bit about your team, because the girls I've met are all locals.
Yes, they're all local. One of our teachers is two of our teachers are Canadian. I'm English, and the other teachers are all local. Sonora, who works in our office, and she makes sure that everything runs smoothly, not only with the accounts, but also with the technology. Thank God for Sonora, because I'm not that good with technology. But she's always there, and it's wonderful to have her. So I think you may have met Anne, who was in our office before Sonora, but she's not here now. She went back to England.
I see. No, I actually met Sonora, and I am in touch with Sonora, obviously for the articles and all the other things that we do for your school. The name of the school, I'm a little bit curious about that. The Codrington Language Centre in Barbados.
Yes.
Where does it come from?
Well, the school that I originally came to teach French at in 1972 was called, it was called Codrington High School. And when I reopened it in 2002, we renamed it the Codrington School, the International School of Barbados, because we implemented the International Baccalaureate program into that school. And now that school is doing excellently. It's doing really, really well. And because I am I'm one of the founders of the Codrington School. The school was originally founded in 1917, so I'm not one of those founders. Yeah. I'm one of the founders who reopened it when it closed, and as I said, I reopened it in 2002. So it's okay for me to use the Codrington name for the language centre, because they are linked, because we do a lot of the students who go to the Codrington School are from non-English speaking countries. So sometimes they have to improve their English a bit before they go into the actual
project. I understand. So you act as a little bit of a pathway program for them.
Yes.
Okay.
Happy to do that. And Codrington is the name of Christopher Codrington, who is the person who founded the Codrington College, which is very, very close to the Codrington School in St. John, which is on the east coast of Barbados. So that's where the name Codrington comes from.
Okay. I'm going to jump onto the other topic, which I meant to go to before, but I told you this is going to be a very, very normal conversation. And obviously, I'd like to talk a little bit about your students, because from what I can understand, I think you have a mixture. So you have students who are from Barbados, and you also have students who are international, or is it completely different, and did I get it all wrong?
Well, the Codrington Language Centre, we only have non-English speaking students.
Okay.
Because they come to us to improve their English only. But the Codrington International School, yes, that has local Codrington students, and it has students from, I think it's 36 nationalities around the world.
I see. And how about the students of the Codrington Language Centre? Where do they come from? And how do they find you?
Well, we're very, very lucky, because we have agencies, mainly in Europe. So most of our students come from French and German-speaking Switzerland, Germany, France, Spain, and you're okay. Sonora's going. Okay, see you. Sonora's just leaving. Have I included everybody? I think from Europe. Yes, and Czech Republic. We get quite a few. This is quite surprising.
Interesting.
Yes, we get quite a few students from Czech Republic because we have a great agency in Czech Republic. I've actually been to Czech Republic to meet the agent, and it was a wonderful experience. I'm a very lucky person.
That's
yes, but we also have students from the French departments, Martinique and Guadeloupe. They've had a very hard time coming to us recently because they've had to catch 2 or 3 planes to get here and go back, and they've still managed to come to us. But from December, beginning of December, they're going to be able to come here directly, like as they used to a while ago.
Very nice.
So that'll
nice.
Yeah. So we have students from Guadeloupe and Martinique and French Guyana.
Okay. Yeah. I imagine that would be so. In terms of, because obviously, especially the European students, and I'm going to kind of hone in a little bit more on the European students, because as I told you many times, and also as our readers and followers know, the majority of our agents come from Europe. So this is interesting for them. So those agents who are watching us today and who are interested in offering a new exotic, might I add, I don't think it gets any more exotic than Barbados, destination, I think this is the school for you guys. Obviously, it's far. I mean, I'm not going to beat about the bush. It's further than other English language learning destinations. But when students come to you, first of all, more or less, how long do they stay with you for? And I think we'd be lying to ourselves if we say that they only come for the English.
Yeah, I think you'd be lying. No, I think the location's got a bit of a drawing card. You know, I mean, the weather, the beaches, and the local people are so friendly and lovely. But they can come for anything from 1 week to 48 weeks. But I would say on average, our students come for between a month and 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, and I mean, it's really surprising. We've had students come for 1 week from Europe, and I think that's a long way to come for a week, but they do it. And we've had a few students who've come for a year, and these are students who have finished their secondary school and they're getting ready to go to university, and they want to they want to do courses involving English. So they come here for a year.
Exactly, and I mean, why not? What better place to take a gap year in
than
Barbados? I mean, I remember taking a gap year back in my day, but I didn't go to Barbados. You know, I should have done that probably.
Well, now's the chance. I invite you to come to Barbados. I've invited you before.
I'd love to. You'd have me there with you, you know, for way more than a week. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
That's nice.
But the students who come for a year, obviously, the time they're coming is after school and before university, so their parents are paying for it. So, you know, that's even better as far as they're concerned.
Exactly. In fact, I wanted to ask you this question next. In terms of ages, so is kind of pre-university, would you say that pre-university is the main age group of your students, or is it adults perhaps?
I would say that our main age group is between about the ages of about 24 and 54.
Okay.
However, we do have students as young as 18 and as old as 80 plus.
Wow.
I think that's fantastic. I love it. I love it when they all come, of course, but to have older students who really want to do something, extra in their life. And, language, as well as playing a musical instrument, those are the things that keep your brain going longer. So I think people enjoy that aspect, but also, coming to Barbados isn't the worst thing in the world, is it?
Exactly. So what's your, obviously, yes, there are loads of things to do, but especially since you have students, falling within the younger spectrum, do you organize activities for them? Do you help them with accommodation? Do they stay in host families? What's it like outside of the classroom?
Well, we used to help them. We used to organise activities for them, but there's absolutely no need to do it, because if we organise activities for them and we take them, then they've got to pay us and they've got to pay the transport and all of that. It's so easy in Barbados to just go and do it yourself. We tell them where they can go. We've got a massive collection of brochures of places that they can go. And they, some of them hire cars, but the bus system in Barbados is phenomenal. It goes everywhere and it's cheap. $3.50 Barbados, which is $1.75 US. They can go around the whole island.
My goodness. Okay. Wow.
It's wonderful. So, we recommend places for them to go, and there's lots of variety and lots of choices, and they just really do it themselves.
So obviously, yes, Barbados is known for its beautiful beaches and any activities related to obviously being by the ocean, surrounded by the water. But perhaps for those people who are not so adventurous or who don't love the sea so much, what other options are there for these people? For example, in terms of, I don't know, restaurants and food, what's it like?
There's a fabulous range of restaurants and cuisine. From local cuisine is excellent. People absolutely love it, and all of our students like to try it, and they just always love it. And international cuisine. We've got a Greek restaurant just in about 50 yards from our office, from our school, where some of our students go there every single day for lunch, because the menu is very varied. The chef is excellent, and it's just a lovely, lovely atmosphere. But mostly people do like the sea and the beach when they come here. And there are lots of activities like snorkeling, diving, scuba diving, surfing. A lot of our students go surfing, and they can go out on cruises. They can go around the island in jeeps. We have lots of gardens and flower forests. People really love the vegetation in Barbados.
Okay. So it's also, just walking around, having a good time, enjoying the nature. I think it's also all about unwinding and, just taking a bit of a break from the crazy cities and the crazy lives that we live.
Yes. And Barbadians are very welcoming. They love to meet visitors. And our students tell us how happy the local people are, and how they never pass a person in the street without the person saying hello and smiling.
Oh my gosh.
It's just absolutely, it's lovely. We're very, very lucky.
I do have one more kind of, not technical, but one more question for you, which I know students will be asking and agents will be asking. How far away is the school from the airport?
It's about, I should know this. It's a bit less than half an hour, I would say.
Okay, so not far away.
And of course, it depends on the traffic. There's not usually much traffic at the time that they're going for their flights. But we arrange the transport to the airport for them if they want us to. Yeah.
Okay. Sylvia, Is there anything from your side? I tried to kind of tackle and ask the questions which I know agents would be asking. So we've looked at there is one more thing, in fact, and it's sometimes, we take it for granted. What what are the courses that you offer at the school?
Well, we offer a variety of courses. The most popular is the standard 18 plus English language course, because that caters to students, as I say, from all ages and all language skills levels.
Okay.
So that's really the most popular one. But we have standard 18 plus English intensive course where students can also, and I didn't mention this, they can also do private lessons in the afternoon if they want extra tuition. And also I forgot to mention, when they leave here, they can continue their course online, because we can conduct the course exactly as it is on site online. And a lot of students want to do that because they can't spend as much time as they would like to in Barbados, but they'd like to do more of the course. So that happens quite a bit. We also have an aviation English course where we have a very highly qualified former pilot who teaches aviation English to the ICAO level standards and prepares them for the exams that they have to have. They have to take exams every year. So that's a very popular course here, because people can come, people who are studying for aviation English and are already working in the aviation industry, because they have to renew their qualifications every year. They can come here relatively cheaply because some of them are pilots, some of them are air traffic controllers, etc. So it's, it doesn't matter about the distance. And some of them bring their families. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Obviously, I don't want, and I didn't want to go into too much detail when it comes to courses today, because I really would like the people watching this interview, whether it's live or whether they will watch it afterwards, because this interview will stay on all our social media channels. So anyone who's missed the live version can still go back to the social media channels. From my side, as soon as we conclude this interview, I am going to put a link on the different channels to your page. So on Facebook, I'll put a link to your Facebook page, on Instagram to your Instagram. So whoever is watching can get in touch with you directly through these channels. As I always say, and our agents know it, but I will repeat it here for those who are watching us. If you would like to speak to Sylvia, if you would like to find out more about the Codrington Language Centre, you can either go to their website, which I will include after this live broadcast. You can go straight to their social media, or feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to introduce you to the lovely Sylvia over here, who will certainly be very happy to give you all the details about her beautiful school and her beautiful island.
I absolutely would. I think it's one of my favourite things to do. I love talking about school. I love talking about the island, because they're just wonderful places to be, I think. So I'm very lucky.
And it's a wonderful place, to learn a new language, because you can combine a love for traveling, a love for exploring new destinations, and yes, why not have a little bit of English, some lessons in the morning, and get to practice all of that in a beautiful setting once the lessons are over.
Absolutely. And I forgot to say that students who do scuba diving and surfing, but certainly scuba diving, they can actually get PADI qualifications.
Okay.
Do that. So I think
that's very interesting, because a lot of people, I mean, obviously I live on an island myself, and I see how many people come over to, to do these diving qualifications, diving certifications. So by all means, if you're interested in diving and want to, or have students who are, and they'd like to top up a little bit of English, there you go. That's your next destination.
Absolutely.
Sylvia.
And if people are interested in music, we can also organize guitar lessons and piano lessons. If
Aha.
do that, yeah.
I
And
think
golf.
the beauty about what you do, and I know we've often discussed unique selling points. Obviously, yes, your destination is your biggest selling point and your most unique selling point. But I think also the fact that you are a small team and a small school means that you are also open to suggestions, you are open to, discussing the needs of the agents. So I think that's why I think the best takeaway that people can take from this interview today is get to know Sylvia, get in touch with her, have a conversation with her, and I am more than certain that between the two of you, you're going to be able to come up with something magnificent for your students.
Sounds great. Yes. Oh, there's nothing we can't arrange. Actually, we've got some groups coming over at Easter, and like groups of 20. We used to do that quite a lot when we had access to the Codrington School before it was reopened in 2002. We had groups from Martinique and Guadeloupe mostly, and from French Guiana. And we've got some groups coming over this Easter. We don't do everything as we did in those days when we did all the activities and everything, but we do the training, the English language training here, and then we give the leaders all the information they need to arrange the tours themselves, and we give them the names of the tour buses and owners.
Okay.
So it's easy.
Okay. So groups is also something that you do, like school groups. It's also something that you cater for.
Well, we do the English language
Exactly
division now, but we definitely, it's very easy for us to organize the other things like the accommodation, or send the leaders options for accommodation, which they then organize themselves, and the trips and the transport. Yes.
Very, very nice. Well, you've given me lots to think about, because obviously now I will turn this lovely interview into an article, and I will try to summarize the different areas that we focused on. And I encourage, once again, our readers, our followers, to not only watch this lovely interview here today, but to also stay tuned, because on a weekly basis, we are posting on our site, on our social media, information and material about the Codrington Language Centre. So for anything you need, you can either drop me a line or you can contact Sylvia directly. If you forget or if you don't manage, let me know and I'll put you in touch. But Sylvia, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. It's a pleasure to have you here with me, and I look forward to welcoming you once again in the near future to, push this a little bit more.
Oh, that's wonderful, Bernice. You're very, very helpful. It's inspiring to talk to you as well, and all the work that you do. So I'm just glad that you've done this with your company. And actually, we've got quite a long association, haven't we? We first met quite a while ago.
Many years ago. Yes. Many years ago.
I want to invite you. I want to invite you to Barbados, because we've known each other for a long time. It's time you came here. So,
gosh.
I
hope my husband in the other room is listening to this, because I would like to publicly tell him I'm going to Barbados.
Well, you can bring him too. I mean, he'd have a great time. There's lots of golf courses. Well, not lots, but we have a few beautiful golf courses, world-class golf courses in Barbados. So,
well, he's a photographer, so I'm sure he'll be very, very busy, taking photos of the beautiful landscapes. I'm sure he'd love it.
Great too. Yes.
Very well. Sylvia, I won't keep you further, but it has been a pleasure talking to you. You know, time just flies. And like I said, thank you for your time today. And I promise that we'll have you again on this live broadcast in the near future, probably early next year. We'll talk again.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you so much, Bernice. I really appreciate it. Lovely to see you.
You too. Take care and we'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch. Yes. Thanks again and bye for now. Cheers.
Okay.